Welcome. This is Flame Flash of Flame Flash Podcast. And this is episode 30. We've made it. We've made it to a milestone. I'm rather proud of myself. And I'm going to get straight to the Raptor report because not only am I recording later than usual, I'm probably going to suffer from sleep deprivation. And I've got a lot of stuff to cover this week. A lot more than I originally expected, too. So let's get started with the Raptor report. We only have 3 games this week. Stronghold 2, The Sims 3, and World of Warcraft. Stronghold 2 was visited by the son, again. He loves that open world level editor kind of thing, making scenarios, laying out characters, sending them to war. He likes having that full control. If Populous was back, I would get it for him. I think he would benefit greatly from a game like Populous. So if you're listening out there, let's see a remake, folks. Anyway, Sims 3. Didn't actually play too much of Sims 3, but did install some new freebies. So we have a Christmas, Thanksgiving, and kind of a wintry set to grab. So go out, check the sims3.com store, and grab it. It's going to be worth it. World of Warcraft will then segue us actually into some of the episode 30 news for this week. 4.3 hit when we predicted it here at flameflash.net. Not that it was much of a surprise to really anyone that it hit on the 29th. But this week is the Dark Moon Fair. And I'm missing running my dailies tonight for you folks. It's going to be far too late. I think the servers will even reset by the time I finally have a chance to log in. And so I'm going to go to bed after this. Anyway, the Dark Moon Fair is amazing. This is why I haven't been playing much anywhere else. Because the Dark Moon Fair is that amazing. 1. You get weekly quests. Think Wintergrasp. Think back to Wintergrasp where you would go and get your weekly honor and Wintergrasp tokens and later just honor points for doing quests in Wintergrasp, either killing things, gathering things, etc. Well, Dark Moon Fair has the similar option of going in and getting some profession skill ups. 5 points. 5 points is amazingly worth going and visiting the Dark Moon Fair alone. Not to mention if you're an achievement junkie, going for all of the achievements you can get there. Some of them are super simple to grab. Others are going to take quite a bit more luck. Like, say, hitting the center of that cannon bullseye. Because, yes, the cannon is still there. And, seriously, folks, if you're playing World of Warcraft and you haven't checked out the fair yet, you're making a big mistake. Even if you're not interested in participating in the fair, go get your Adventurer's Journal. Why? Because as you do other things, Adventurer Journal items possibly will drop. Will possibly drop through the rest of the month when the Dark Moon Fair is no longer going on. You can then sell those items because they're not bind on pickup for people who are participating in the fair. So even if you don't want to participate in the fair, you can participate in the fair and make some gold off of the people who do want to participate in the fair a bit more passionately. So as you're out doing your normal things, lo and behold, an artifact might drop. Yahoo! Hold it for yourself and go turn it in for something, or sell it. Personally, I'll be holding on to it or funneling them all to my main, my druid, and then once she gets everything she wants, funnel them to my warlock, etc., and work down from there. Might as well stay on 4.3 and World of Warcraft. But don't forget that if you have friends that play, if you have real ID friends that play on other servers that you've been having fun going and doing instances with, or looking for raid with, you can now also go into battlegrounds together, which is just awesome. They're fixing it so if server populations start to drop, if the game starts dying out, they won't have to do server merges and make bad press for themselves and possibly encourage more people to drop the game. Now, this is probably a ways off. Yes, they've lost about 1 million subscribers during Cataclysm's time, but they're still at 10 million players. That's a huge player base to run into out there. So go forth and run into them. Now, I'm going to hop over for a moment because Sony stepped out, and last week I commented on the PlayStation Vita's memory card situation and how it's going to be charging you an arm and a leg and possibly your soul. And so I'm probably going to be skipping out on it until a more reasonable price option becomes available, or things start going on sale, you know, a year or two after the Vita's been out. But their reasoning, Sony's reasoning for having proprietary, yet again, memory, is security, and so all users have a quote-unquote equal condition. Or in other words, every person that buys a Vita gets to, how to put this PG? I can't really. Gets to be robbed. I'd like to say more, and I would certainly like to go explicit on it, but I'm going to keep it clean. They get robbed. Now, sure, I can almost believe the fact that since there are so many different brands of SD cards out there and so many different possible formats that they wanted to do some kind of standardization, then do that standardization. Sell a Sony branded SD card with very specific specifications, you know, go the high-speed route or certain capacity, because then we could have gone up to 64 gigs, actually. Or you could set SD card standards like Nintendo did for the DSi, the 3DS, and the Wii without ever compromising equal condition. And I'm using air quotes here for the video. But you've got that option. And Sony, you dropped the ball and didn't take it. Bad Sony. No cookie. I'm not believing your excuses. You could have done it some other way. In other console items, there's a new Xbox 360 dashboard. If you haven't grabbed it yet, there were some delays yesterday. Well, 2 days ago on Tuesday, the 6th. It is now the 8th. I'm way past my usual time to turn in. But anyway, the 360 dashboard has been updated. You get cloud saves. You can set beacons. So beacons are, say, start up Netflix, start watching, but you've set a beacon out there for your friends to know, hey, I don't mind being interrupted while I'm playing something else. Invite me to the game and we'll go shoot stuff together and blow it all up in Halo or whatever else you're playing on Xbox Live. So it's a nice flashing light to tell your buddies, I'm available even though you see me doing something else, which is a pretty cool feature. Cloud saves. Did I mention that yet? I love cloud saves. I'm tempted to get Xbox Live again for the cloud saves. A $4 a month service is almost worth it to me. Almost. If there were some other perks to the Xbox Live service that I don't get for free on the PlayStation or the Wii, I would do it. But I don't cross game chat with anybody. I barely ever put my Xbox headphones on. Or I barely did when I, had Live. My consoles with my big family are for playing locally, at home. That's what I want, is split screen fun action. Anyway, we also get Bing search. That other search engine of Microsoft's that keeps changing its name. But you can search your console using Connect voice commands. And so, say you want to launch Fruit Ninja, or you want to search for Sonic, you can do so. Not too shabby. I don't have a Connect, so not really impacted by that. But it's still a pretty neat feature to cover. Finally, you get more Facebook achievement options. So, you know how all your friends are possibly still Farmvilling or whatever the big social app is anymore? I block most of them, so I don't really know. But you get to spam your friends. Personally, go sign up for Raptor. It'll do the same thing for you. You don't have to log in on another device. It'll just do it automatically there. I mean, by all means, if the Xbox is your only source of Facebooking, go forth and Facebook, my friends. But if it's not, you have many more better options than the Xbox 360 Facebook interface. Of course, this is from me saying it with the assumption that it hasn't changed much since I had Xbox Live a year and a half ago. Maybe it's changed dramatically. Maybe it's worth it now. I don't know. But I'm going to hop over to the other console, the PlayStation. PlayStation Plus. You get Tomb Raider Underworld for free. This is a full game. A full disc-based game, or at least it used to be. And you get it for free. Awesome. I am looking forward to trying it out, because that's been on my wish list. There's a 3-pack, Tomb Raider Underworld, and a couple of 2 other Tomb Raider games in my Amazon wish list. Well, now, once I finish this one, I can go and individually grab the other 2, or grab the disc if it's cheaper. But I have a free Tomb Raider game downloaded straight to my PS3. Also, PlayStation Plus deals. Penny Arcade Bundle. You get both Penny Arcade games for $3. I feel shame in saying that I went ahead and grabbed it. Now, I say shame because I have the first episode on Xbox. So to really get the full effect of the story, I'm going to have to play through the episode 1 again, so that I can then get anything that carries over from episode 1 to episode 2 activated. But I'm not really minding that idea, because I liked episode 1. It's a strong Penny Arcade experience. It's what you'd expect from those guys. Gamers making games. $3 for 2 games that are usually about $10 to $15 each, or used to be. That's awesome. Go forth and grab the Penny Arcade bundle. Do watch out. They do drop the usual Penny Arcade weird humor, so this probably isn't child appropriate. Every family's mileages vary, but that's my stance on it. It's not appropriate. But speaking of what's appropriate, you get Spyro for free. This is a PlayStation Plus repeat. But if you missed it the first time around, now's your chance to grab it. And grab it. The kids love Spyro. Spyro has actually held its age pretty well, especially if you can transfer it over to, say, a PSP and play. Enjoy. The PlayStation Network itself is getting Final Fantasy VI. Well, got it now. So you have Final Fantasy 5 through 9 available on the PlayStation Network, along with Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. You have almost every Final Fantasy and Chrono game. And the Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross are definitely worth it. Chrono Trigger holds up better as far as graphics go, but Chrono Cross is still a fun, good-looking game, as long as you can forgive the pixelation. Final Fantasy VI is probably my favorite game of all time still. And if I didn't have it already on disc with a backwards compatible PS3, I would be buying it. Because it's just that good. Alright. I am flying through these. I'm proud of myself. Behold the power of the social media. PayPal screwed up pretty royally. I was originally going to be covering this in outrage and frustration, but thanks to the power of social media and all of the retweets and pushes and emails and phone calls that most likely happened, a website, I'm even missing their name at this point because it's resolved now, they had set up a charity donation PayPal account for toys for kids. And PayPal shut them down because of some convoluted reason that never really made sense to the group. And they fought it. And they lost. But because of social media and all of the outside pressure, they won. After extra pressure, PayPal backed off, backed away from it, and is going to let them proceed with their charitable works. Have no idea why it got flagged or disabled and frozen in the first place, but it inspired myself and probably many others to disconnect my bank account from it. Yes, my credit card's still attached to that mystery PayPal account, but my bank isn't. And unlike my bank, my credit card has a fraud department. Maybe my bank does too, but I've never used it. And you're more in danger of having a bank account drained quickly, digitally, than you are having a credit card drained digitally. It's just the fact of it. So, Netflix is ready for the United States Postal Service slowing down of its service. So you're going to be getting discs, if you're still on the disc-based system, every, say, 2 days instead of every 1 day turnaround. Now, Netflix is fixing this partially because they planned ahead and fortunately built really close to distribution centers whenever they could. So those mail trucks don't have to travel far for that first sort, which is perfect. Netflix is ready for that, at least. They still expect to lose a lot of money. The game rental is certainly up in the air at this point and is looking less and less likely to happen. But yeah, I'm hoping it still does. So we'll see. Finally, as far as other consoles are concerned, the 3DS also had an update. And a massive update this was. Not only in content, you get Find Me 2. So you get a new castle to raid, basically. You get more puzzles and hats and achievements. There is a Street Pass achievement system now. Not only do you get the hats, not only do you get the puzzle pieces, but it gives you plain old Warcraft or 360 style achievements. I'm thrilled because that means other achievements might start flowing in. You will also get the 3DS to 3DS transfer, so you and ambassadors out there, if you want a red 3DS, for instance, you can now transfer your stuff. I haven't tested it myself, only have the one 3DS, but that's how it sounded to me, at least, when it was tested, or when it was released. Podcast at flameflash.net. Try it out. Let me know. Does it work? I'm also on Twitter, Flameflash. Yay for random communication plugs. Anyway, you also get 3D video recording. So you know all those 3D videos that show up in the Nintendo video channel or whatever it's called? You can make your own now. You can make your own now to be viewed on that one Android-based 3D phone that's on for advertising as well. That's not as impressive as just being able to record 3D video yourself. It's not as high quality. I mean, I tried taking some 3D pictures, and that didn't really wow me that much. I couldn't even tell, really, that it was too much of 3D. But it's still nice that they're giving us this new feature. So, hey, look. Since the 3DS has a standard use of SD cards, you're scot-free. You don't have to pay proprietary systems. And it is definitely getting late. Finally, I'm going to hop back over to the internet and World of Warcraft for a moment. The U.S. Online ID system. What? A U.S. Universal Online ID system. It's going to be headed up by the Commerce Department, and thank God it's going to be opt-in. I mean, yes, it's a neat idea in theory, that kind of like how PayPal can hold your payment information and go out to various websites like Best Buy or eBay, etc., and pay on your behalf and hit your credit card so you don't have to have your credit card flying out and laying around all over the place. This system would let you have a single user ID and password to get into all of your stuff out on the web. Well, you know, there's an easy way to do that already. It's called using the same login and password on every website that you visit. Of course, the painful truth to doing that is if something like the PlayStation Network gets hacked, you have to go through every single little website and fix it and change it. For instance, when the PlayStation Network got hacked, I diversified. I no longer have the same password for most of my stuff. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Gmail, iCloud, it's all different. Ustream, it's all different. Which drives me nuts, but I'm more secure. My PlayStation is different from my Xbox, which also drives me nuts, but I'm more secure. I wish it didn't have to be this way, but I'm not going to trust the government to hold my password either. That's actually kind of laughable. Yes, it's the Commerce Department, but not only do I don't trust the federal government in general, usually, but they don't even know what the internet really can do and is a lot of times. Certainly not a series of tubes that fit on a big truck. So I'm going to leave the internet in the capable hands of the group, the conglomerate, the anonymous. But anyway, after that little tangent, watch out for flying Mythbuster cannonballs. This was probably the most amusing story of the week. Still geek related. And I am thankful that they had insurance. It's going to be a huge inconvenience for some folks while everything gets fixed and replaced. But nobody was hurt. A giant cannonball simply flew through one house, damaged some shingles on another, and ultimately crash landed in a van and totaled it. It may have done a little other hopping around and perhaps touring a couple of other places, but that's what I caught in my quick read. Back to World of Warcraft for a second. There are a couple of sales regarding World of Warcraft. BestBuy.com has buy two, get one free WoW time cards. That's perfect. So you're getting 6 months of World of Warcraft for the price of 4. When you put it that way, it's not as impressive, but you're still buying 2 and getting 1 free, and if you've signed up already for the year of commitment, having those cards is going to be very nice, especially since you've gotten 2 months free now. Personally, I'll probably be spreading it out to the kids' account, wife's account, and my account, but that's still one of our accounts getting recharged for 2 months for free. Very nice. I wish everyone luck in the World of Warcraft Season 11 PvP. I think it's Season 11. The latest season started on Tuesday, so I wish you all luck, regardless of what number it has. And Blizzard is having their own sales. Cataclysm is price is reduced. Wrath, Vanilla, Burning Crusade is included with Vanilla now, so I'm not mentioning that. And a couple of even virtual pets, the Pandaren Monk, Celestial Steed, maybe some others. I only saw those 2. But that's something. That's neat. That's taking Christmas into consideration past the StarCraft 2 half-price sale for Black Friday weekend. But I'm Flame Flash. This was episode 30. If you've been listening, I have 30 episodes under my belt now. I thank you very much for listening, but I'd love to hear from you at podcast@flameflash.net for email. We also have Twitter @flameflash, Facebook, the flameflash.net fan page, or track me down on the PlayStation Network. I'm Flame Flash. That's it. Flame Flash is everywhere. If you see somebody using the handle of Flame Flash online, it is likely me. Tweet at me and ask. Don't assume, but feel free to ask if you want to know if it's me or not. But I'll let you go at this. Episode 30 is under my belt, and I'm going to keep going strong. So this is Flame Flash, a flameflash.net podcast, signing off from episode 30. Thank you for